What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be breaking down the most underrated ranked fighters in the UFC. There's a lot of guys in the rankings who are really underappreciated, and today I'm going to be telling you who they are in each weight class. So first up at 125, we got Tim Elliott. He's 5-2 in his last 7 fights, and he's only lost to top-level guys like Makayev, Nicolau, Royval, Figueiredo, and Askarov, which I know that's a lot of people, but those are really good guys. And one of his underrated wins is to Gair Ulanbekov, and he had a close fight with Makayev. He got finished, of course, but it was a close fight up until then. And he's a veteran who doesn't duck anyone, and he's active. He stays active, and I like that. Next, we got Pedro Munoz at 135. He has lost a lot. He's definitely less consistent than some of the other guys, but he has had a lot of close fights. The Chito Vera fight was a robbery. I still think that to this day. I think he should have won that fight. And that's crazy since Chito Vera went on to get a title fight after that. He beat Chris Gutierrez clearly, and Chris Gutierrez is a decent fighter. You know, he knocked him down in the first round. And he was having a close fight with O'Malley before the no contest eye poke. And he was doing good with that. And he did drop Dominic Cruz in their fight, had a pretty close fight. And he's had 20 fights in the UFC and never been KO'd. He's got a granite chin at bantamweight. Next up at 145, we got Dan Ige. He's 3-1 in his last 4, and I think he beat Bryce Mitchell on damage. I think that should have gone his way. And he's a very exciting fighter. He has brutal KOs over Andre Philly, Damon Jackson, and Gavin Tucker. He's never been finished in the UFC. Another guy with a granite chin. And he's only 32. He still has time to improve. And I think he can go far if he gets the right matchups. Definitely doesn't do great against wrestlers, but I think he's been improving, and I think he can make it pretty far. Next up at 155, we got Mateusz Gamrot. I know he's top 5, but he's still underrated. People really aren't discussing him for the title shot. He's 7-2 in the UFC, and he beat Arman Tsarukyan. I know that was a close fight, but technically on paper he did beat Arman Tsarukyan. He also has wins over Dos Anjos, Fiziev, and Turner, and that's all in a row on a 3-fight win streak. And I think he's counted off because of his loss to Dariush. And I know his style isn't the most exciting. He doesn't get a ton of finishes, but he's still a good fighter. Next up at 170, we got Neil Magny. He loses to most ranked guys, but he is a consistent top 15 gatekeeper. He has a crazy record, 22-10 in the UFC. That's so many fights, and that's been since 2013. And he's another guy who's active, and he's willing to fight anyone. He doesn't duck anyone. You know, he fought Shavkat when he was coming up. He was willing to fight Chimaev when he was coming up. Of course, that fight didn't happen, but I remember back in the day he did want to fight Hamzat. And he's fought like a lot of guys. He doesn't duck anyone. And he has wins over Jeff Neal, Robbie Lawler, Carlos Condit, Johnny Hendricks, and Kelvin Gastelum, which are pretty good wins. Next up at 185, we got Jared Cannonier. He is top 5 again. But he's not really in discussion for a title shot, which is weird. I know it's probably because of his loss to Adesanya, but him and Adesanya and Whitaker are the only guys he's lost to, and he did beat former champ Strickland in his current win streak, and he had a brutal beatdown of Marvin Vettori. That was a crazy fight, set a significant strike record on him, and I think recently he's been sidelined due to injury, but he's got a fight with a Mavov coming up. I think he's going to win that, and hopefully he'll get a title shot after that finally. Next up at 205, we got Nikita Krylov. He is number 6 in the rankings, and he has a 3-fight win streak against Spann, Ozdemir, and Gustafsson. He also has a win over Johnny Walker, which is probably his most relevant win besides Ozdemir. And he went to decision with Ankalaev and Teixeira, which are 2 really good grapplers, didn't get finished by them. Pretty sure the fight with Teixeira was pretty close, so he's definitely a good grappler. I know he got submitted by Paul Craig, but that was kind of fluky. But he's been out for a long time. Hopefully he'll make a comeback and keep climbing those ranks. Maybe we'll see him get a title shot in 2024 or 2025. Next at 265, heavyweight, we got Alexander Volkov. He's number 6 in the rankings. He has a 3-fight win streak against Tuivasa, Romanov, and Rosenstruik. Not the best competition, but still consistent win streaks at heavyweight are hard to get. And he's only lost to top 5 guys in the recent past, Aspinall, Gane, and Blades. He had a close fight with Gane. And Blades, actually, but I know he got out-grappled in that. But Aspinall, he got destroyed by, but that guy's interim champ now. Pretty good. Not a horrible loss. He's also former Bellator champ back in the day. And he's got an upcoming title eliminator against Pavlovich coming up, so hopefully he'll win that. Could be cool to see him get a title shot. So that's it, guys. That's my breakdown of all the underrated ranked guys in each division. Yeah, see you guys next time.